together that 4th of July day. That's when the land you're standing on became the US of A. United we will stand, but divided we fall. One nation under God says it all. Created equal, words written in by hand. They all stand to fight when a cry for freedom rings. Freedom isn't free, it comes with a cost. One nation under God says it all. One nation under God says it all. This old world's changing, it's changing every day for the land of the free and the home of the brave. Stand up, everybody, stand proud and tall. One nation under God.
Good evening and welcome to IITW Radio. It is 1/29 of 2019. That was Calvin O, One Nation Under God. What a kick butt song that is. Oh, we almost played it again. So, okay, tonight we got a lot to go over. It seems like the whole friggin' world has lost its damn mind. Well, at least half of it anyways. Tonight is every Tuesday night. I'm a co-host on Mr. Greg Williams. How you doing, Greg?
Hey, pretty good.
Are you looking all sporty?
Well, you know, getting ready for the Super Bowl.
Yep, you gonna have hot wings?
I guess. I don't like the hot ones. I like those teriyaki wings.
Oh, my cardiologist is gonna freak because I'm having jalapeno hot wings.
Ooh.
With scorpion peppers.
There you go. That'll be good for you. Hey, that might keep you alive. It'll clear your arteries, probably.
It's good for the memory.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, because you eat it today, tomorrow when you take it a dump, you remember exactly what you ate. Okay, who's going to win the Super Bowl?
I don't know, New England. Hey, did you hear about Kamala Harris dating Willie Brown, the former legislature from California, longtime notorious questionable political character from California?
Yep.
They were actually dating each other?
Yep. Kamala Harris is a mess.
Well, I thought that Willie Brown was married to another woman. You mean to tell me that she's a home wrecker?
Yeah, she's a home wrecker, all right.
Wow. Now she wants
Allegedly.
now she's wrecking California and wants to wreck the rest of the country. She tried to wreck Kavanaugh. That lady's crazy.
I know. So I guess we're moving from Elizabeth Warren, the woman who says she's not an Indian anymore, the beer drinker now.
Not. I'm confused.
Okay, Jolene joined in. Hello, Tammy.
Is she Indian still, or is she now identifying as a leprechaun?
I'm not sure. I think she might be Guatemalan.
Oh.
But I can't say for sure.
Oh, wow.
I mean, she's
okay. Hey, they got a bright bunch over there in the Democratic field. How about that senator from New York? That little backstabbing little blonde senator. I don't think she's done much of anything except pander.
Yeah,
pander
right.
to the left, far left. What's her name? Gillibrand or somebody like that?
Yeah, she's a mess too. The whole freaking left side is a mess. I mean, the right side is not much better either, but at least they're not out rioting and
Trump.
stuff.
At least we got Trump.
Yeah, it seems like everybody's against him. Hell, he can't even get a bill passed.
I'm for Trump.
Yep. I tell you what, I got it.
Trump.
You know, they said the same crap about
Make America Great again.
We need to get you a MAGA hat.
Yeah, hey, I am going to get one. As a matter of fact, you can go to the White House gift shop. Apparently in Orem, that's what I've been told. There's probably other places, but I want to get them. You know, here in Florida, you can wear them proudly and nobody hassles you. It's when you go to those red states, the blue states. The blue states are the Democratic states, right?
Yep.
The blue states are the Democratic. Yeah. It's when you go to the blue states, the states that welcome the Intifada and those radical libs that are teaching all that socialist garbage. the stuff they teach in the Ivy Leagues. So those are the states that actually welcome people attacking children and anybody that wants to make America great again just because they wear a hat, a MAGA hat. Hey, doesn't that guy Kane West wear one? The black guy?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm all about it. Hey, I want to get me one. It's cool.
Who else was it I saw that had one on?
Those hats are cool, man.
It was a black guy. I can't remember what his name was.
Hey.
Yesterday there was
likes Trump a lot better than he likes his predecessor.
Well, they have the black women's group for Trump, and now they have the black men's group for Trump. I saw him on the news the other day with all MAGA hats on.
Hey, the Spanish people are loving Trump.
Yep.
And pretty soon we'll see some Indians with some Trump hats on. God bless the American Indian.
Well, I still got to wear my Alabama hat.
I
might wear a Trump hat on here one night. I don't know.
Hey, we'll see. Hey, it's going to be interesting to see who the Dems roll out, though. I kind of think it's going to be Hillary and Trump in a rematch. Grudge match.
That or Biden.
I don't see Biden going anywhere.
I don't know. He said today he might.
They got a lot of film footage of his hands where they don't belong, generally on some young lady's behind.
Well, it would be funny if he did get in because Trump would eat him alive. I actually would feel sorry for Biden. But Schultz is running. You see that?
Yeah, now that's a good candidate. What happened to Democrats like him? Moderate Democrats. Well, apparently he feels he's got to run as a third party because the Dems have moved so far to the left that even a moderate Democrat can't win the nomination.
Oh, yeah, it's freaking him out right now because if he runs under the Democratic vote or under independent, it's going to take votes away from the Dems. Now, here's the funny thing.
Talking about the Starbucks owner, right?
Yeah. Now, here's the funny thing. Well, the guy, he wasn't even, he was born poor. How you doing, Stan? He was born poor. He was from the Bronx, and he's a self-made billionaire. And now it seems like all the left wants to trash him because he's got money. I mean, all of them now the Dems are talking about boycotting Starbucks. I love what Trump said about. I love what Trump said.
That's the dumbest bunch of people I've ever seen. And what your show is called? Currently, it's called, I believe, it's called "Problems in American Democracy." And I think we've pretty much identified them: the Democratic Party, the mainstream media, the Democratic Party, the mainstream media, rhinos in general. That's pretty much it.
But did you see what Trump tweeted out to Schultz when Schultz did the interview? He said, I'm not the smartest man in America, or I'm not the smartest man. And then Trump says, yeah, I'll agree with him on that. And I hope he pays his rent over at Trump Tower.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, but it's interesting. Maybe somebody, I don't know. It's not Beto. That Beto guy, I wouldn't trust him with the keys of the family car.
Well, Kamala Harris, she had a pretty good showing up in California there. She had 20,000 people out there.
Man, those are her home girls. That's a Willie Brown crowd.
Yep.
Hey, she's a machine politician, and her machine only works in parts of California that are inundated with illegal voters. Well, apparently, there's about 5 million people that may have voted illegally in California. But don't let the AP know about it because they're still in denial. All these people, Reuters News, AP, all these people are like, oh, there was no voter fraud in California. There's nobody voting illegally in California. Come to find out, there are more registered voters in some of these counties than people that live in them.
Right.
How do you get that?
Well, they were just in Texas today, too. It came out that there was 95,000 non-citizen registered voters in Texas.
Well, the scary part is California encourages it, and Texas tries to discourage it, and you still had almost 100,000 illegal votes in Texas.
Yep. But,
golly.
95,000, and this is the first day of them checking on it. But at the end of one day, they had 95,000. I believe that was for 2 counties. That's a mess.
Unbelievable.
Yep, and the same with California, like you were saying.
There was too many. There were too many illegal votes. They need to understand that voter ID is not voter suppression. But again, the same people that don't want to fix the wall, don't want people to have to show an ID, or provide any identification as to who they are, or even if they're allowed to vote. I mean, these people on the left are so far gone. But here's what really, really gets my goat, and I think it bothers a lot of people. And I'll tell you when we come back from break.
What, we ain't going to no break.
I got you on that one. I got it. No, but anyway, no. What really gets my goat, among other things, is the it's like the media continues to tell us what they think that we should know, that we don't know, and that we must know when we already know it and have already rejected it. I mean, the American people are so far ahead of the media and the Democratic Party, and they're one and the same. And they keep trying to shove these ridiculous, liberal, socialist leaning ideas down the American people's throat. And just look at Venezuela right now.
Yeah. The average salary down there for a person in Venezuela is $1.50 a month. The country has no toilet paper. They've got one president, and they had a vote, and he refuses to step down. So now the White House has put tariffs on the oil and stuff from Citgo and all the rest of them. They're going to put the money into an account, but they can't touch it. And it's nuts. $1.50 a month. Now, Venezuela used to be one of the richest countries that there is. I mean, they have
America. I know it's a very well-off country. I remember a Venezuelan exchange student in the 70s when I was growing up. Nice guy.
Yeah, but
it is what it is. Very sad. I hear it's a beautiful country down there.
Yeah, now they've taken, on their socialism scale, they've taken from everybody, and now there's nobody else to take from it. The president's sitting fat and rich.
People starving to death, people dying in the streets. It's bad. It's almost as bad as San Francisco.
Yep. They showed this thing I was watching. One of my friends sent me. I'm not going to put it up. It's too graphic. But there was a guy in Venezuela.
I'm actually comparing Venezuela to San Francisco. But you know what? There's quite a few similarities.
Oh, yeah.
You can find human feces on the sidewalk in both San Francisco and Venezuela.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're setting down.
Unbelievable.
They did their whole, freaking to-do down there. And now the whole country's broke except for the president. There's no toilet paper. There's no sugar. I got videos sent to me of a guy getting murdered over half a cup of freaking rice.
That is terrible.
Yeah, he told the guy to give him his rice. He's like, no, I got to feed it to my family. And then another guy they were showing got murdered for less than a kilo of rice. It's a freaking mess. And so how does Kamala Harris, okay, she was saying her opening statement the other day.
I don't know. Left in general want to take us so far over there. You can't have government control every damn thing. That's ridiculous.
Well,
the government's going to control every aspect of our life, and we're all going to be great, except there's always an elite, and then there's always the rest of the country that don't have a pot to piss in.
Well, Kamala Harris is talking about giving free Medicare, which I don't know where they're going to get this word free from, because I did the numbers on it. It cost $4.4 trillion in the first year alone.
Do you know that's how the socialists took power in Germany, Venezuela, and just about every country they wreck? They offer free stuff. They sound a hell of a lot like the Democratic Party. Free phones, free health care, free this, free that, free education, everything free. You know what that would make? That would mean that everything would suck. Okay? It would be terrible. The education wouldn't be worth a damn. The health care would be bad. It'd be rationed. There are all kinds of stuff. The whole free stuff is an illusion, and it's a way to get the uneducated. If you want to get over on a society, you get over on the young people, the college campuses, because these people are dumb. That's why they're in school. And it's sad that there's older people taking advantage of them and espousing Marxism and these discredited Marxist theories. They're trying imprinting them in it. It's brainwashing our youth. Meanwhile, they don't even want to teach civics in our own schools. What make America great? Or a history, or all the beautiful things about capitalism and the free market.
Yep.
So our education is hurting us.
Melba just joined in. We got to give her a shout out. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't work. How are you going to get free schooling? And they're talking about white privilege. Well, take Schultz, for example. Where's the white privilege there? A poor kid grows up in the Bronx, makes millions and billions, and now all of a sudden they're making it bad to be a billionaire. Did you see them out there cussing him out and stuff when he came out and announced that Stan said mush brains?
Ugly. I can't believe it. You know, California's lost their marbles, and UCLA and all these bastions. I used to respect these schools. And now you can't, if you have conservative views, you can't even talk. They'll shout you down. They won't let you speak. They don't want to hear the truth. They're a lot like Pelosi. They just don't want to hear the truth.
Well, did you see there's a new bill going to be passed into legislation here? It is.
I hope it's one that says Congress has to abide by the laws they pass for everybody else.
I think we have a picture of it. I'm not sure. Oh, I'm missing a page. Isn't that nice?
While you're looking at that, what about the uneven application of the law? I mean, hey, why does it take 40 FBI agents to go arrest Roger Stone when he would have simply walked in the building and turned himself in? He'd been trying to cooperate. You know, this is the Mueller investigation. They take these over 65-year-old men and they try to cooperate. These guys try to cooperate, you know, and, you know, they may be political hacks. I mean, it doesn't matter. They're not sophisticated, but they try to, you know, do the right thing. And then they may forget something. And then because they're old, they come back and say, oh, we got you now. You know, you give them 10,000 documents, you forget one sentence, and then they want to indict you for lying and obstruction. Yet they give Hillary a free pass. The lady destroys, you know, takes, you know, hammers to her computer and hard drives and has illegal government computers and pay to play. And gee, she raised $50 million or $100 million while working for the government as Secretary of State. Oh, that was a lot of pay to play there. That doesn't pass the smell test to me. And then the FBI is going to give her a free pass?
Yeah, my buddy Kerry Davis just joined in. Kerry and I went to high school together. But there was 3 Republicans that just introduced a bill. It'll go in on Tuesday to be voted on. But it's called the Solidarity of Right to Salary Act. And we got a picture of it right here. Yeah, so
if they don't pass the budget.
If it passes, which I don't know it will, because the Democrats are the one who signed in the bill that they got paid, even if there was a government shutdown where everybody else got screwed. With this new bill, it states that...
Let them eat cake, according to today's C.
Yeah, the bill, we've got it right here. That's going up. I don't know if you can see it now.
But if it wasn't for Trump, we'd still have a shutdown. And the only reason we have a shutdown is because that knucklehead wouldn't support, a secure border. Gee, but go ahead.
Yeah, here's the bill. It says to promote the payment. Let's see, scroll it back down. To prohibit the payment of salary to members of Congress, the president, and the vice president during periods during which the government shutdown is in effect.
I like it.
And for the purpose of, and then it goes on to tell the House of Representatives, Congress, all the Solidarity and Salary Act of 2019. I hope they pass it.
I do too. But you know what else I've been told and heard from good authority? That we wouldn't even have shutdowns if our Congress would do their job and pass the budget the way it was supposed to be passed in the normal course of order. You know, there's no reason we should have to, this is something that happened under Obama. Before Obama, we used to pass budgets pretty much on time and intact, okay, as a general rule. But then under Obama, they didn't have any budgets. They wouldn't hardly do anything. And at the last moment, here's some bill that nobody read that had a bunch of lobbyists drew up that Pelosi was taking care of her cronies.
Well, Stan just brought up a good point. He said, look what they did to Dr. Ben Carson. Now, the thing that gets me is how the Democrats can sit there and say, "Oh, it's racist, it's racist, it's racist." They drag Dr. Ben Carson through the freaking mud like he's some bad, guy.
He's a great
But
guy.
yeah, they're not racist. But they make it bad for you to be white. It's just bad anymore. White people make it bad for white people to be white.
The Democratic Party will self-destruct. They're not going to be able to get along with themselves because they're all about identity. There's no room in the Democratic Party for a conservative Democrat. There's especially no room in the Democratic Party for a conservative Democrat white male. Now, you'll get liberal white males in the Democratic Party. You'll get maybe a few misguided white males, but there's really no room in the Democratic Party for a conservative white Democrat. Name the last conservative white Democrat that you know. I can't even think. Maybe Byrd from West Virginia. And I don't even know how conservative he was.
Yeah, that and Schultz. It's about the only two I know.
Maybe the West Virginia senator, but I don't even know if you can call him a conservative. He wasn't conservative when Obama was president. I can tell you that.
Well, Joe Manson.
Right.
Manson's about the only one that I know of.
Yeah. Sam Nunn was a great conservative. Bob Graham was much more. Our former senator, was much more conservative and middle of the road and a bright guy. It's a shame that the Democratic Party has moved so far left. But what I meant to get to earlier was that the Democratic Party, and the mainstream media is part of this, the Democratic Party has moved so far left that regular, centrist values, not even conservative values per se, but just middle-of-the-road values are now viewed almost as extreme right. Regular conservatism now is extreme right because the left has moved so far left, some common sense proposal like, how about a few hundred miles of border wall, or how about a driver's license or some form of voter ID to vote? These things are now extreme right. Pro-life is extreme right. I don't think so. I mean, that stuff is just conservative. It's not extreme. The extreme is what's going on the left. We got extreme left here. These guys are a step away from the Nazis over there in Germany. They take their guns away. All that stuff came away from the hard left. It's the left that will take your guns away, and the left that will try to force socialism on you. All the Democrats ever wanted to do under Obama was tell us what to do, what our kids could eat at lunch. It's sad.
Yeah, I was reading the notes on Kamala Harris's speech there the other day, and she said the first thing she said is, "Let's speak the truth." Now, to that, I got to say, look what you did to Kavanaugh. Not one word.
Her truth. She doesn't even know what the truth is. These people, the Democrats, don't have a truth. See, when you say, "Let's speak the truth," they want her truth, your truth. It's always anybody's truth. It's like they've dumbed down. This is the whole reason I think that they want to move everything to electronic, to a computer thing, where there's no definitions. There's one truth. There's a truth. 2 + 2 is 4. It's not 5. It's not 6. It's not 16. It's 4. But with the Democrats, they're going to say it's whatever they want it to be.
Almost laughed my ass off when she said that not in this country. She said, under this administration, America's position in the world has never been weaker. She's freaking kidding me? Trump's the only ones that stood up.
I don't know. I doubt that, seriously. Because of Trump's leadership, NATO is now in a better position than it's ever been. Russia respects America. They respect Trump, even though he's harder on them than much harder than Obama was. Obama, nobody respected. He was what they call a pansy.
Yep.
He led from behind.
Why would you call him that? He rides a girl's bike with a tard helmet on.
Let me tell you, Obama didn't wear the pants in his own family, okay? He had the respect of no one. He was a left-wing lunatic who always thought America was the problem with everything. We weren't at fault in anything. If it wasn't for America, the world wouldn't, have a lot of wonderful things that it has right now.
Well, look at China, how he stood up to China. And even Canada, and Mexico.
I will say this. The only people that don't really like Trump are those we'll say Iran, we'll say the European Union, because the European Union, they always like a weak American president. They hated Reagan because Reagan was a strong American president. Trump is a strong American president, make no doubt about it. And if you don't believe me, ask those people in Afghanistan that he dropped that big bomb on when the Chinese were over there.
Stan said Obama was a planted communist seed back in the 60s. He got that one right on the head.
I don't know where Obama came from. I don't know. I don't know that. You know, he's like the stealth candidate. I didn't think he was vetted. I mean, come on, you know, when he show his Harvard transcript, surely, well, you know, Harvard is as crooked as they are. I mean, this is a school, Harvard, which used to be a divinity school. A lot of these Ivy League schools, they came from another era when it was a noble, wonderful learning experience, and they were founded by various church groups. Well, over 100 years, they lost their way, and it's very sad. And now they're almost anti-Christian, which is really sad, and in the name of being educated. But the whole thing is they're not, and they keep misinforming and miseducating our young people in regards to political philosophy, and it's got consequences. We got 40% of the American people that are registered Democrats. I mean, that's scary because most of those people, or if it's not higher, are socialists. I mean, the socialists have a home in the Democratic Party. Make no mistake about it.
Yeah. We got somebody walked in the studio. I'll let you ask him in a minute. He wants to ask you a question. I think he's wanting to know what you think about the border wall.
Well, I think that you need a wall in some places you don't. But we should get some money to do, you know, we can add probably a couple 100 miles, 300 or 400 miles. Wherever they need it strategically is where they should have it. And if they don't need it strategically because there's a river or a mountain range or whatever, or some other ways that they could do something, then I'm all for it. But they got to do a better job. I mean, back in the day, everybody came through Ellis Island.
This crap going on about the border wall and them not wanting to give them money. Well, I got the perfect thing to how to solve this whole damn thing.
Well, let's hear it.
He'll be on here in just a second.
Okay.
So, I mean,
well, all I can tell you, though, is I'm all for a border, but not all the way across, just where they need it.
Do you think Trump's going to get the money for
They need to do something. They need to get these people that are coming in the country a damn doctor visit so we can know and get them healthy. You know, I mean, if they're going to come in the country, at least have them immunized. I mean, when people came in the old days, they'd go through Ellis Island, they'd see a doctor. We'd know who they were, who their parents were. I mean, you know, it made so much more sense then. And now it's like, well, we don't know who you are or where you're from or what your health history is, but come on in. Well, you know, just, you know, I mean, but they're not going to move next door to Pelosi. But, you know, come on in anyway, and we'll give you a bunch of stuff. And later on, you can be our slave. I mean, that's what it sounds like to me.
Okay. So, how you doing, Mr. Williams?
Hey, pretty good.
Remember
Grandma.
me, Cletus? I'm Cletus. Ain't no damn grandma. What the hell's wrong with you? You see any man boobs on me? Hell no. So
So you're identifying as a man?
Yeah. You think they ought to get rid of that wall or keep it and build another one?
I don't know. I think that we need a wall.
I don't know. You know what I think?
Damn wall.
You know what they need to do? They need to take and put a damn electric extension cord over that son of a bitch. And that guy gets his noo-noos hanging over that wall, plug that thing in and see if he don't jump off. They only got to fry one of them.
You're saying electrify the wall. The steel wall could be electrified. I think you can. Steel's probably, you can probably move electricity through steel. It's not copper, but I bet you could electrify it somehow.
Oh, hell yeah. I'd plug that thing into my generator and crank that thing up. I went down to the wall this week and did a video. You want to see it?
Let's see it.
Okay. You got to play whack-a-mole with these damn things.
I'll do it.
Hello, I'm Cletus. Now, we've got all this crap going on about the border wall and them not wanting to give them money. Well, I got the perfect thing to how to solve this whole damn thing. Mr. Trump, You can hire me and my relatives, and we are down here at South and Water right now. For a 6-pack of damn beer apiece, we'll take care of these illegal aliens. Now, I thought them aliens was up in the sky, but turns out they're from Guatemala and Venezuela and all down there trying to come over and get our stuff. It ain't right, I tell you. It just damn sure ain't right. Now, oh, I think I hear some aliens coming down. Here's what you gotta do. I got a bat. That's a pretty bat. Oh, wait, I hear one coming down. Oh, I see some hands going over.
Free stuff! Free stuff!
Get your ass out of my country. Damn, man. Get on. Get out of here. Who the hell, MS-13? Get your ass out of my country.
Free stuff!
Get your damn ass out of here.
No!
All right. We got another one. I'm going to kill him, too. Get your butt on there. Now, that's the way you do it.
Free!
You come get your butt out of here. That's the way you do it. 6-pack of beer, by God, we'll come down and whip all of them's ass.
There you go. Hey,
Now-
that gets me fired up just looking at it.
Now, see, don't think
See how
I
it
hate
takes
my.
you more time?
Don't be
See how you
calling.
get a little more time when they have to climb that fence? Go ahead.
Don't be calling me no damn brown people hater either. By God, I love my Mexican friends. I even got a hat from Eduardo here. See it? I love their bananas down there. I got this Chiquita hat going on here. I think it falls over though. It might have got whack-a-mole.
Hey, I'll tell you what, though, you did kind of raise some good points about the wall.
Okay, well I got to get out of here. You go ahead and tell me about that wall.
Well, hey, I think we should do a brick wall in parts, maybe have part of it brick. I'd like to see maybe 50 different parts of the wall could each one represent a state. Let's say a mile of the wall could represent each state, and then and it maybe have some state input on what they wanted to do for the wall. Or you could kind of make the wall a work of art, you could do all kinds of stuff with the wall. There's a lot you can do with the wall.
Yep.
Some people like to write graffiti on the wall.
Get out of here, Cletus. All right, Cletus is gone.
But hey, the main thing is it gives us some separation, but we do have to have an orderly way to get in the country, and then an orderly way to get out of the country, an orderly way to let guest workers in. How about doing your job, Congress? I mean, really? The guy's going to have to do an emergency order because you guys are so sorry? I'm talking about the Democrats in general and the Republicans that don't want to, do much. Let's get together, fund part of the wall, then go ahead and move on to all these other like infrastructure, maybe revisit healthcare, do a lot of good things. But my God, if you can't even get together on the border security, then what's the point? I mean, this lady Pelosi, she hates Trump so much she can't even do her own job. That's the sad part.
Well, I had a talk with a millennial the other day. Excuse me, I got choked up. And you know what? They were sitting there blaming Trump and this and that for the wall and everything else. And I'm like, here's a point I want you to think about. Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and the rest of them have been in office for some of them 20, 30, 40 years. Okay. Now, how in the hell is it that they're going to sit there and blame Trump, who's only been in office for 2 years, on the problems of immigration, border patrol, and everything else, when in fact they were sitting there pepper spraying little kids and women? Obama's administration was, Bush's administration. All of them wanted to have a wall before. If Trump was smart, everything he wants, he would just say, I don't want it. I don't want a wall.
Yeah, but you can't do that because, that's the whole point that people don't know what you stand for. What I like about Trump is he means what he says and he says what he means. And, the media just can't get past that. The left-wing media, which is the Democratic Party, make no mistake about it, they're one and the same. I mean, you turn on CNN. Oh, did you see where CNN hired Gil Obama? Did you see that today? Our former Florida gubernatorial candidate is now a new special feature political analyst for CNN. CNN needs more expertise on political corruption, so they brought in Gilliam.
Yeah, it just got to question here from a listener. It says, why is it so important to have a designated area in and out? Fences don't make a difference. They actually do. Now, I've been down to the border, and I've seen the places where people try to come across and where they don't. Now, my question is, without a fence, what do we have? We have absolutely nothing.
You got drones, baby, drones. And
But
they
they're
take
not gonna
pictures of the people, and they wave to them as they're coming in our country. And then they give them a number, and they say, come back and see us in 6 months for your court date. And by the way, while you're here, you can go to a sanctuary state, get everything for free, and even register to vote. And by God, if the election comes, go ahead and vote. These blue states aren't going to prosecute you because they're all about corruption.
Well,
Political corruption.
For one, it's harder to get drugs over a fence. Now, yeah, they have tunnels and stuff, and they got these people saying, well, 80% of them coming through the port of entrance, right? How do they know? I mean, do they have a total count of all the drugs that come into the country, and then they say, well, there's 20% coming in here, 80%.
It's all an estimate. You and I know. Well, I know, and you should know. You probably know, but because you've done a lot of investigation reporting, for every load they catch, there's a lot of loads that they don't catch.
Oh yeah.
Some of that stuff there's deliberately being, caught so the big loads can get by. I mean, it is what it is. The whole Clinton Airport thing you talked about last week. There's just too much corruption, too much money. Some people that I know lately, I saw Newsmax, a really bright guy on that Newsmax was saying he thinks Pelosi and the Democrats are in bed with the drug cartel, and that's the only reason they don't want a border wall. They don't want border security because they must be getting money from the drug cartel. So where you have it, the Democrats in Congress are in bed with the drug cartel in Mexico, who somehow funnels millions of dollars through the Clinton Foundation. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Wait a minute. And somehow they're going to end up with our Russian uranium. More conjecture based on fact.
Yep. 23% of our uranium went out. But back to the...
now, that was a little silly, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, there was a couple of people asking why have a wall, and I know all illegals are not bad. Okay, to me, it's just like this is what I've told a few people here in the last couple of weeks. It's like a zoo.
People that don't have but for the gift and grace of God, we wouldn't be Americans. We're lucky. I mean, I really that my heart goes out to these people that want to be American. But you got to want to be American. I don't like these guys coming in up here with their Guatemalan flags and their MS-13. Stripes, and they don't want to be American.
Well,
we want people that want to be here, that can benefit the country and make America continue on with the great experience that it is to be an American.
Well, without the wall, we have nothing. With a wall, at least we have something. But that's
we have to have borders to be a country.
Well,
they have borders all over the world. There are borders.
Yep, they work in Jerusalem. They work in
everywhere.
East and West Germany.
And they work here. Except the last 40 years, we've been like, free pass, free lunch, come and get it. That's the new democratic way. JFK, again, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Well, of course, the modern Democratic Party is, it's free, 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 and it's for you. Please, whatever you want, it's free. You want a sex change? You want to become a woman? We'll give you a free surgery.
Ariel
you
said,
want a late abortion? We'll give you one for free.
Ariel said, well, but we let them go and they keep coming back. So what's the difference? Why not just let them come in? Well, for one, if they would start,
you can't let everybody in.
If they would start prosecuting them and keeping them out of the country with a wall, and they have to come in through a border gate, it's a lot easier to vet them. It's a lot easier to say, okay. I mean, Facebook has the recognition. I know they can recognize people. But the one thing is like a zoo. Okay, the zoo has cute little koala bears. They have cute little emus and all this stuff. But they also have the lions, the tigers, and the bears. Now, walls and fences work because what if you just took down all the walls at the zoos and the fences? Yeah, you'd have some cute little emus running around. It'd be nice to have a chimpanzee. But what about the lion that's sitting there snacking on you? You know, that's what you're trying to keep out. But how does it make a difference? This is one of the things right here. I want you guys to look at this. This is Josh Wilson. He was 18 out of Pearland, Texas. He was murdered and set on fire by an illegal alien, a classmate, on 11/16 of 2010. This isn't just something that happened here. And
That's sad.
that his life is never going to come back. If that guy was not in this country, then this kid would still be alive, along with the angel.
I agree. Well, man, it's a horrible thing. You want people to come to the country, learn our customs, learn our language, learn our traditions, learn what it is to be an American.
Yeah, I'm not saying keep people out. I mean,
but they don't want to do that. The Dems don't want them to do that. They want them to come in now. You can't even speak the language. Here's your voter's card, and now go vote Democrat. I mean, give me a break. That is so. The Democrats care more about their party than they do the country. Okay, we cannot just let everybody in. You have to have some sort of system, some sort of organization. You got to know who's coming, who's going, and who's here.
yeah, and it's like, okay, right now, here's another good reason, not just because of the drugs and MS-13, but did you see how bad that measles is spreading across the United States right now?
Washington State, too. A lot of that happened in Washington State, where those idiots and that liberal bastion in Washington, they're like, we don't need our immune shots. We don't need that. We don't want to do that anymore. I mean, we wiped out all these diseases, and now you got all these stupid people saying, no more immunity shots for me, and now here they come. And between that and then the illegals coming in with these diseases, you're asking for a major health crisis.
Yeah, well, if you look at where the measles have come, right, it's right up through California, and then it goes up, and then it circles around. Right now, there's a bad epidemic of measles going on, and the CDC's not sure what they're going to do.
Oregon, Washington, a lot of these Western lib states, they were at the forefront of the anti-immunization movement that captured the country about 15 or 20 years ago. And until today, it's still going on. So we do need to kids need to be immunized. And it's 99.99% effective. I mean, and not harmful. I mean, you give them autism. I don't know. I don't think that's true. So, I don't know. But we need to keep immunizing our kids. And that's another reason. All these illegal kids need to be immunized. If they're coming into our country, they need to be treated for, heck, if they all got worms, then deworm them, whatever.
Yeah,
I mean, people come in sick.
Yeah, you just can't let people run across the border just willy-nilly. And then look at the amount of people that we have coming in now. There's another caravan of 4,000 heading. If that's not an invasion, I don't know what the hell is. I have no problem. I have a lot of Hispanic friends.
Obama called it an invasion.
I have hello, Selena. Joe, if they come in the legal way, it's a different story. It's the illegals they want to stop, and that's.
I'm with you. I agree 100%.
If you stop,
illegals should not get at the front of the line.
And who's going to pay for it? The thing that's really freaking getting under my craw here lately.
Apparently, the state of California. But go ahead.
Is how that Kamala Harris, Cortez, the ones on the left are screaming, forget these, let these illegals come in. Now, do you want to take down the wall? That's what you got to ask yourself. Where there's walls at now, out in Yuma, there's hardly anybody coming across there. Once they took sections of the wall went down, they're going to be flooding in.
San Diego, another place there, apparently it works really well.
Yeah, but you got to ask yourself, hey, Selena.
A lot of people coming in legally. That's the way it should be. You got a wall and then a great big gate, and people come in. And now a lot of drugs are smuggled through that, I'm sure, but they catch a lot. And that can get better. They can do better on all of that stuff. They will. It'll all get better. But fund it. Do something about it. This has been a problem for 20 years.
The reason that more drugs are caught, and I want people to understand this. The reason more drugs are caught coming through the port of entrance is because you have U.S. Customs with dogs, and it's filtered in through smaller channels. And they can come in, and they take the dogs around, and I've been to the ports. I used to have a car lot. We used to sell a lot of cars in Puerto Rico and stuff. They didn't have to go through customs there, but down at the loading docks, when we got cars that we had to ship out to Puerto Rico, stuff from customs, it'll have to sit there for 1 or 2 months while they go through it, especially the big crates. So, yes, they're going to catch more. When it's just flying across the borders, you're not going to catch it. So, you know, how can they say it's 80% of that? I was trying to read.
I don't know.
Use the drug
you can't
money.
believe everything you read, that's for sure. Go ahead.
That weren't showing up.
What is it?
Comments that weren't showing up.
Oh, comments that weren't going up. It says, let's get pigeonholes just like they have done in HR 25. He doesn't want much, does he? When the Patriots and Trump get done with the Democratic Party, will be no more. When the Dems get through with themselves,
they are exploding from within. I mean, they should just rename the party the Democrat Socialist Party. I bet there would be a movement. I mean, we need to start suggesting that, and OAC may want to do that. Let's rename the Democratic Party the Democratic Socialist Party, because really, at least it would be truth in lending.
Selena wrote in.
Obama acted like he was anything but a socialist, but he couldn't wait to shove that Obamacare down the throat of the American people, regardless of how many lies it took.
Yeah.
And then they bragged about it. Unbelievable.
Selena wrote in and says, use the drug money for Mexico to finish the wall. She's right about that.
Seize that drug guy. What's his name? The big guy? He's probably got $1 billion you could seize.
Oh, Chapo? That's in.
Chapo?
Oh, why is he still going to court?
They can find $1 billion of Chapo's assets and find part of it.
Now, this is something that you could probably know more than I know about. The new law that came out. If you're a convicted felon and you have done your time or you have served your probation and you're free to walk around legally now, you can register to vote. I would suggest you do that.
There's your process. Excuse me. You have to sign up. You gotta claim your rights. You can't just sit on them. You gotta claim your rights.
And on this one, it says, I affirm that I am not a convicted felon, or if I am, my right to vote has been restored. If you've done your prison time, if you've done your probation time, and you're a felon, they have given you back your voting rights. Please use those. Please sign up and vote. And vote for who you feel is right, not for the party. But I thought I would put that in there. If you go on, we'll probably have this up on the website, but it'll list all the counties in Florida and all the places that you can write to and call up. And for people that are on the EBT, the E Better Today card, you can actually go online to whatever it is, HRS or DCF website, whichever it is, the .gov site, and you can go on there and you don't even have to go in. You can register to vote online, and they'll send you your card in about a week or two. You have to do it 29 days before election starts, though. But that's one of the things I wanted to bring up tonight. So, Stone.
That was a nice public service announcement.
Yeah, we'll move on to Stone. Okay, Selena, if you're a convicted felon, you shouldn't be allowed to vote. You shouldn't be allowed to have a say. Well, that's not really true. If you're convicted,
was the law for a long time. As a matter of fact, that was the law until just this past year when the referendum passed. That used to be the law. But
if you're a child molester,
enough people said, let them vote. So I hope that a lot of them vote for Trump, frankly, because they'll get a better job.
That's not for everybody. If you're a convicted child molester, pedophile, you cannot vote. If you've had
whether it's one or two, or a murderer.
Yeah, if you've been a murderer, you cannot vote. But
I thought a little broad myself. But
there's a lot of people that have felonies over pot. Okay, they should be able to vote. They
should be able to vote. Yeah, I understand that.
People
a lot of non-violent. A lot of these felonies are glorified misdemeanors to begin with. I wonder who the heck makes all this stuff up. I mean, we have so many third-degree felonies that should be misdemeanors, and hopefully that will get cleaned up in this Prison Reform Act or criminal justice reform, and we need more of it. We need more criminal justice reform. A lot of these third-degree felonies, as they're on the books right now, should be first-degree misdemeanors.
There was
They've got to redo stuff. They over $300 is the threshold to make a misdemeanor a felony. That threshold should probably be 1,000 instead of 300. That 300 came from 25 years ago.
Well, there's people too that I know. I know a group of people. It was 5 or 6 of them that their boss had bounced a check to them on a Friday. So they get their check on Friday, deposit it in a bank. They go to the grocery store. All of them went to different chain of grocery stores. One grocery store in particular, which I like, is Publix. But instead of giving the guys and gals a chance to get their stuff and come back and say, hey, my boss bounced a check to me, so my check is going to bounce, they went ahead and convicted them. It was over $100 each one of them, but they were just trying to feed their families, and every one of them wound up with felony convictions, all 5 of them.
I hope they get that set aside. They could hire a lawyer maybe and get that set aside, and that ought to have been a misdemeanor, or they could even vacate it, hopefully. Because, frankly, the main thing is the merchant wants their money. I mean, nobody should be left holding the bag. I mean, if there's a con or something really under the table type thing, that should be prosecuted. But some of that stuff, if it's just a bad check, it was a temporary type situation, you could clean it up and fix it up, do that. I mean, that's typically in the old days, you used to have time to clean up a check before the state attorney's office ran with it.
Yeah.
Now, so I don't know. It's and now some of the state attorney's offices have gotten away from bad check prosecutions. So it is what it is. Merchants beware, and hopefully you can vet those checks. I take checks until they bounce.
Right. I'll give you a rubber ball. It'll bounce just as good.
I've taken it. I had a guy bounce me a $10,000 check early in my legal career, and I was glad that I didn't spend any of it, because not only did it, it was in my account and out before I knew anything. This guy was a professional con man, and they caught him right before he was skipping out on another highfalutin con. He ended up going federal, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of things that I did in my 20s. I should have been convicted for felonies. So, hell, back in the day, I drive around with a beer between my legs. I mean, the older you get.
Hey, back in the day, you could pull into Jack's Liquors, they'd pour you a drink and then say, have a nice day.
Yeah, through the drive-through.
Drive away with a hottie toddy.
Yeah, but I mean, people when they're younger, when you get our age, you wouldn't do none of the stuff you did when you were in your 20s.
Younger people take more risks. Obviously, they live more dangerously. But the main thing is their brains aren't fully developed, especially the young white male. Okay, now I'm a specialist in the young white male because I happen to be one. I mean, I know a little bit about the young white male. And then, of course, I've defended many of them. Of course, it's males in general. I'm just using this as a figure of speech because I happen to be white and I'm identifying as a white male, although sometimes I identify as a black male, but currently I'm identifying as a white man.
You going to call yourself Spartacus? Errol writes, isn't Pelosi also a self...
I'm going to confuse myself about the point I was trying to make about a black male and a white male. But the point is this. The male's mind is not fully developed, at least until 30. They say 25. I don't think men have it together until they're about 30. I'm just going to tell you. That's my feeling. Maybe 27. Maybe we start figuring it out about 27. But men are just slow. We're a little hard-headed, a little dumb. That's why a lot of, frankly, a lot of us join the military. And, you got to be a little crazy to rush the enemy lines, but we do.
Tiki want to know who you are. He's Greg's an attorney up in Jacksonville, and he represents a lot of people. I've known Greg for a lot of years, and he represents people for everything except for murder cases. But Greg I've known Greg that he'll help people out by taking payments from them. His prices, he's charged people that I know way less than what any other attorney I've ever seen would charge them to represent them. And he's damn good.
Don't brag about that.
Well, as well as I do, you're crazy as hell. You ain't afraid to go in and stand up for somebody.
Hey, Some cases we do because we think we want to see justice done. We may take those at a lower discounted rate just because the cause is worthy and then perhaps the client can't afford the full rate. But as a general rule, we're reasonable doubt for price. We try to be.
If anybody will stand up for your rights, it's Greg. Like I say, I've known Greg. He's not just a co-host on here, and not just my personal attorney, but he's actually a friend of mine. Let's see. Arrow wrote said, "Isn't Pelosi also a self-made millionaire?"
I don't know how self-made she is, but she's definitely low.
She's loaded $98 million. Now, how do you go in and be a congressperson and make $130,000 or $140,000 a year and have $97 million?
Ask Carrie Reed.
I mean, self-made. Hell, I wish I could self-made.
The former Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid could tell you because that's what he did.
Holy crap, we're already.
I don't know. Maybe Hillary Clinton could probably help you with that. I don't know how they do it, but it must be a good gig.
It's Greg Williams, Tiki. If you ever need a good attorney, there's his address and stuff. It's at what is it, 355 East Monroe Street up in Jacksonville. He said you just go into downtown Jacksonville, you'll find him. But if you guys need a good representation in legal affairs, Greg's the man to see. But we got to get out of here, Greg. I'll give you the last word.
Hey, you know what? If I can't take the case, I might know somebody that could. I can always give somebody a consultation that needs one. But most importantly, I want you to know that I'm a Trump supporter.
Well,
you know why? Because he saved the Republican Party. The Republican Party was dead in the water. And then here comes Trump.
Yep.
And damn if he didn't save the party. I didn't vote for him to be Pope. I didn't vote for him because I thought he was the most, Boy Scout of the bunch. I voted for him because I wanted him to go to Washington and stir stuff up and make a difference and try to clean up the mess that is the culture of corruption up there.
Yep. Okay, you got 1 minute. It's like we got to shut down here. So you're going to be back on next Tuesday night?
Yeah, well, yeah. And what was the name of the show that we were talking about doing? Politics for the washed and unwashed. That could be a fun show.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot what we're doing now.
Yeah.
I think what we've done, though, is we figured out what the problems in democracy were. It's communication between the parties, a lack of communication. But it's also because the Democrats are socialists, and the Democrats are the reason why America has problems. We can't be a socialist country. The Democrats need to purge themselves of socialism so we can get on with it and be great again, while providing a safety net for our less fortunate.
Yep. All right, Greg, I'm going to let you get out of here, buddy. I got to get out. I'll tell Cletus you said bye.
Make sure you look for the Tallahassee mayor on CNN. Should be a hoot.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll talk to you in a week.
Go Obama.
We'll see you later, Greg.
All right.
Thanks for coming on. Okay. Remember the main important thing is to, Greg gets on the Democrats. I get on the Democrats and the Republicans. To me, it's all about who is concerned about our country and which way they're going to take us in. Socialism doesn't work. So you need to get away from that. No matter which party, and then there's socialist Republicans, there's socialists, seems like more on the Democratic side. On the 4th, we're having Miss Helen Hayes back in here. Now, tomorrow night, we're going to talk more about it. There's a program where if your house was damaged during the hurricanes or during Irma and you still don't have it repaired, if it's over 5 years old, there's a way you can get a new mobile home put in where you're at. If you're a renter, you have things that can be done to help you in your houses around here. You guys are going to need to do this program before March 25th or March 29th. I'll have to look back in my notes. But I'll be talking about that tomorrow night. Also, Fort Gates Ferry before it gets shut down. And I want to thank you guys for listening on tonight's show. Thank you, Greg, for coming on. Guys and gals, remember to go up and thank your first responders. your sheriff's department, your volunteer firefighters, especially your EMS workers. And also when you see a military person, thank them for their service. We live in the greatest country on earth, and yes, we should be protected. Our citizens should be protected. With that note, I'm getting out of here. You guys and gals have a good night. We love you. If you're home, stay warm. Bring your pets in tonight. It's going to be freezing in North Florida tonight. It's already down to 52 in the next couple of days. We'll see you tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. I'm out. This is Austin Neal, Brother in Arms. And look at the advertisement as it goes through. I got to give my shout outs to Mama B, Debbie, Ariel, Jolie, Miss Debbie, Tammy, my business partner in crime, Cameron, all the people that help make this program possible for you guys for free. And also for Annette and Audrey up there. Audrey, happy birthday. And also Annette, happy birthday. See, I didn't forget. All right, you guys have a good evening. We love you, and we'll see you back here tomorrow night.
On a plane ride to a foreign land, a journey had begun to a different time with my old man, watching the more dogs run, telling stories and comparing battle scars. Well, there are ways among us.
We'll be back on tomorrow night at 7, Ariel. And thank you for watching.
Back to those nights, I'm sitting there, writing letters home.
By the way, good GLF, Ariel.
Picking that old
Thank you.
six-string just to keep from feeling alone. Seen some tough times, some crying eyes, but never quit on me. Been through hell and back, even brought us back to where our hearts need to be. On a plane ride to a foreign land, a journey had begun. A different time with my old man, watching them old dogs run, telling stories and comparing battle scars. And there are ways among us, brothers in arms. On a plane ride to a foreign land, a journey had begun to a different time with my old man, watching them old dogs run, telling stories and comparing battle scars. Well, there are ways among us, brothers in